ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश कारणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्री गुरु दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। So I welcome all of you for this evening class session of the Bhakti Shastri. So would like to take a small recap what we have done. So would like to ask a question to all of you that what we have taken last time. Please somebody can just take a recap of this, some points or what the section is going on. What is 11, the shloka number 11, 12, and now we are reaching to the 13th shloka. So if somebody can recollect and tell us, so it will be helpful for us. Is there anyone who would like to tell something? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Who is there?
Prabhuji,
I am not
Nirupama Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah,
Prabhuji,
please.
We spoke about this term Matsthani Bhutani. Everything rests on my shoulder. That's what Lord Krishna says, but we should not confuse this. You told the analogy of how Atlas holds the globe on his shoulders. It's not like that. Then we spoke a lot about Krishna reveals his Aishwarya so that we can know everything about him. That's why he reveals his Aishwarya. And we spoke a lot about Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. And you told us about the analogy of how the devotee, when the devotee is there, then only the Lord comes personally.
Yeah.
And when devotee is not there, then only the energies of the Lord are there. And you told about the analogy of how Narsimhadev comes from the pillar when Prahlada is in danger.
Yes. Yes. And what this section is going on, I will just show you again.
One more thing you told is this chapter is the most confidential knowledge. The previous ones are more. This is the most.
Yes. Yeah. So this section is demons, worshippers, and pure devotees. So there is a classification of this. Some are the demons, those who are worshippers, and some are the pure devotees. So what exactly we are going now is a 13th shloka. There's like a moghasha and a mogha karmano also we explain about the devotees. Krishna says that is a moghasha. If they are slightly planning, even if the devotees are slightly planning for what their goal to merge with the Lord or with the activities which are lending towards the Jnana Mishra or something like that, then still the Krishna will not make them to go to the impersonal Brahman or something, because he has performed the devotional service. So he says moghasha. Their ashas are baffled by that. Then moha jnana, all the hopes for the knowledge and baffled to it. So they will not be going like that. They will not turn to the Mayavadis because they have served me in a personal way. So these people will not turn as a Mayavadis in the next life. And mogha karma, It's like this word is speaking Moha Jnana, which is Asa, and Moha Karmano. Their activities, even if they are having this fruitive activities, or they are inspired by the fruitive results, their fruitive results, I will baffle it and I will make it ruined. So it is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurpad and Baldev Vidyabhushan are going hands on hands together and saying the same thing again. And Moha Jnana, all the hopes for the knowledge are baffled. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of impersonal Brahman, knowledge of the impersonal Jyoti, that will be baffled. And one day, they will take some time for me to understand, but one day I will be showing them the personal form once their devotional service is matured. So this sloka is actually for the mohashas, those who are worshipping the Lord in a karma kanda, or in like the Lord for those who are worshipping in a jnana marga or karma kandi, not in a karma kandi, but the karma is more karma mishra. For them it is there. But the Lord is talking about now the devotees, those who are doing sakama karma. For them, this activities will not, like their all the things will be moha. All the activities and their jnana will be baffled by me. It is this meaning Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakurpad is giving us. It is very inner meaning. It is very sacred, and so that's why the acharyas are called as the chakshus to see the scriptures. Because what is the Krishna's mood? The acharyas are having the spectacles to see the mood of the Krishnas. So they are speaking the mood of the Krishna inside, but the word to word it is for these people, those who are jnanis, those who are the karmis. I will baffle their activities over a period of time. They will be baffled with their fruitive results. They will be baffled. Baffled means what? They will be getting the results, but they will be frustrated. They will be getting the jnana, but they will be over a period of time, they will be frustrated with the jnana. So that is Krishna is giving the guarantee. And this shloka, we can say that all the efforts, like that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashanta. This shloka we can compare it. Mohasha Moha Karmano, Moha Jnana Vichetasa, Rakshasi Masurim Chay. Then the Krishna is saying the same words. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also saying that. So we will be reciting the text 13. Mahatmanastu mam partha Devim prakritim ashrita Bhajanyananya manaso Nyatva bhutadim avyayam. Translation and purport, somebody can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please.
O son of Pratha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Those Mahatmas, they are Ashrita, they have taken shelter not in Prakritim Mohinam Shrita, as the demoniac do, but in the internal energy of the Lord, Daivim Prakriti Ashrita. They have taken full shelter of the internal potency of Krishna. Ihadini, Sandini, Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit. And they know everything. They worship Krishna's form. Those Mahatmas, although humans, are actually divine, and their consciousness is fixed on Krishna without deviation. The position of the devotees is described in verses 13 to 14. The devotees who are not deluded are great souls and are under the protection of divine nature. Knowing Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible, they fully engage in devotional service. Srila Prabhupada describes these great souls in his purport to verse 13. The Mahatma does not divert his attention. The Mahatma does not divert his attention to anything outside Krishna, because he knows perfectly well that Krishna is the original Supreme Person, the cause of all causes. There is no doubt about it. Such a Mahatma or great soul develops through association with other Mahatmas, pure devotees. Pure devotees are not even attracted by Krishna's other features, such as the four-armed Mahavishnu. They are simply attracted by the two-armed form of Krishna. They are always engaged in the unswerving service of the Lord in Krishna consciousness. What are these Mahatmas' activities? Hare Krishna.
The next shloka is talking about Mahatma's activities. So the previous shloka, 12th shloka, was talking about the Asuris or the demons. Moghasha Mogha Karmano, Mogha Jnana Vichetasa, Rakshasim Asurim Che. Now here Krishna has switched the gear. That what is that? Who are then Mahatmas? Who are the Viparit? Who are the opposite of this? Those who are Devim Prakriti Mashrita. These Asuras, they are under this material energy, and these people, they are under of my divine energy. So anybody remembers this verse 7.14? 7.14 shloka is talking about Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mame Vaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. He is saying that. Devi Esha Gunamayi. And now after like this shloka number 9.13 and 9.14, Krishna is mentioning about who are these people. Who are these people? He is giving the example of 7.14 in 9.13 and 9.14. The Bhagavad Gita is a very mysterious book. 7.14, Krishna has spoken about spoke about the shloka and the people, those who are. Then 8.14, he is mentioning about Ananya Cheta Satatam Yoma Smarti Nityasha Tasya Ham Sulabha Partha. He has spoken about the qualities of the Mahatmas, those who are Ananya Cheta Satatam Nityasha. And 9.13 and 9.14, he is making more clarification over it. Who are they? He is speaking about Mahatmana Sumam Partha, Devim Prakriti Ashrita. Now these people, those who are the Devi Prakriti Ashrita mein hai, to bhajanni ananya manaso nyatva bhutwadi avtavyam. He is speaking about that. And then he is not just speaking, but he is clarifying what they are doing it. Like the gopis are the Mahatmas, we can say. Gopis are not Ananya Bhaktas, gopis are Fananya Bhaktas. Once, who was there? Radha Govind Maharaj was saying that we should not call the gopis as Ananya Bhaktas. Ananya means at least they are knowing that there are some other personalities also. But the gopis were not knowing the other personalities. They were knowing only Krishna. Once after this, between the Ras Leela, some of the gopis, Krishna felt that they are feeling some pride. That was not the pride of what we are experiencing. The gopis were feeling that Krishna is only mine. He is my property. So the Krishna understood there is some tinge of pride, and he immediately took action and says that now I will not be there with them. So he immediately vanished himself. He left this Ras Leela, and the gopis were searching. And Vishnu came in front of the gopis. Four-handed Vishnu came in front of the gopis. And gopis were watching and saying that, where is our Krishna? You please tell us. They just felt that is obliged to pay the obeisances to him, but they were searching Krishna so desperately. They asked the first question that, where is our Krishna? You please help us. If you are not going to help us, what is the use of to be there with you? So they were not knowing he is a Vishnu. We have to pay the obeisances. We have to offer the prayers to him. But they were asking him, where is my Krishna? So, He Radhe Brajadevi Kech Lalite, He Nanda Suno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pad Patale Kalindi Vanne Kuta, Ghoshanta Vidik Sarvato Vajapure, Kheder Mahavibhalo, Vande Rupa Sanatano Ragveto, Shri Jiva Gopal. That is the state of the gopis as well as the 6 Goswamis. He Radhe Vrajadevi Kech Lalite. These 6 Goswamis, they were always absorbed in thoughts of the Radha and Krishna. He Radhe Vrajadevi Kech Lalite. He Nanda Suno Pita. These are the personalities. Where are they now? And they are roaming around the bushes of the Vrindavan and asking everyone, where is Krishna? Where is our Krishna? Where is our Krishna? So that are the Mahatmas. These are the Mahatmas. We have to follow their footsteps. We are having such a richness in our Sampradaya. These rich devotees, these people we have to follow, and we have to take some richness of them in our life. One day we can beg them. Not one day. It's like their appearance and disappearance days. We can just beg them. You are having the Krishna Bhakti. You please give us. One day, Mahatma is not taking a birth by the Mahatma's home or something like that. Mahatma is taking birth by the blessings of the Mahatmas. So we should seek the blessings like that. That way, one day we can go crazy and mad and asking, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? That in that state, only in that pure madness, we will find the Krishna. So text 14. Satatam kirtayanto mam.
Satatam kirtayanto mam.
Yatantascha dradavrata.
Yatantascha dradavrata.
Namasyantascha mam bhaktya.
Namasyantascha
mam bhaktya.
Nitya yukta upasate. Go on reading the translation and purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Always chanting my glories, enduring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Kirti, always chanting the glories of Lord for welfare of others. They are always engaged in welfare of others. Dridavrata, with a fixed vow, like chanting of rounds. Namasyanta, offering obeisances. It means all forms of devotional service are there. Nitya Yukta, they will eternally be in union with the Lord. They are endeavoring for that. And they will eternally be with Krishna because they have taken shelter of him with full faith. In the next 3 other types of persons are explained. Those who worship Krishna in 3 ways, but don't understand that is Krishna that they are worshipping.
So this is here in this purport, Prabhupada is somewhat specifying and encouraging the preachers of the Krishna consciousness. So the Kirti is always chanting the glories of the Lord for the welfare of others. Welfare of others means the The preacher who is going out and distributing the books, the preacher who is going out for the satsanga, taking out his valuable time and explaining the meaning of the Gita, and he is expounding the glories of the Lord. And they are always engaged in the welfare of the others, those who are not having their personal time, but they are spending more time for the preaching sake. And they are doing with the Dhradavrata. They are chanting their own rounds, but still they are encouraging others also to chant Namasyanta, offering obeisances and making others also to offer the obeisances. So that is like the Prabhupada's mood. He is saying that those who are Mahatmas, they are not some other living entities of some other globe. But those who are doing this, Krishna is saying that Krishna is glorifying them, that these people are talking about me, and others, they are encouraging others also. That Krishna is speaking in the 18th chapter, that one shloka, Nachatasman Manusheshu Kaschin me Priyakritma Bhavita Nachame Tasman Anya Priyataro Bhumi. That person is glorious. He is very, in my heart, he is very loving, because he is spreading the glories. And the seed of that shloka is 9.40. Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. He is doing what? He is speaking about Krishna. He is making Krishna as a glorious one and expounding the glories of the Krishna. So the preacher's life is like that. Preacher's life is always tough. The people outside the world, the people are not understanding what exactly you people are doing, where are you, and what hands-on work you are not doing. And sometimes the people ask us here in ashram that when we meet outside people, and they say that, what is your engagements? So 9.14 is the engagement for the preacher. Satatam kirtayanto mam yakantasya dhradavrata. It is not only one day vrata. It is dhradavrata. Dhradavrata means it is always. It is always. Namastantasya mam nitya yukta upasati. Those who are offering me the obeisances and making others. It is like the Goshtyanandis and Bhajanandis. Who we are? Are we the Bhajanandis or Goshtyanandis? Anybody knows or heard these terms? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we didn't heard. I didn't heard the names.
Are we the Goshtyanandis or the Bhajanandis?
Prabhuji, Bhajana Nandi is that like just philosophy is just
who is speaking? Please let me know.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Praveen here.
Sorry?
Praveen here, Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Bhajana Nandi means that they are just taking the name of God just like for the name only, not from the like following the rules and regulation and all the principles.
No. Prabhu, you're speaking right. You're not speaking right things. Sorry, I just interrupted you. But it is because our some of the acharyas were the Bhajanandis. So what exactly a difference between the Bhajanandis and Goshtyanandis? Anybody knows?
Goshthanandi means maybe Hare Krishna Prabhuji Prasad here. They only talk about philosophy, Prabhu. It is like a Mayavadis.
No. Sorry. Yeah. Panduranga Sharan Prabhu or Atul Govind Prabhu, you please enlighten us now.
Bhajanandis are those devotees, those who prefer to chant, do their bhajan in a secluded place or some worshipable dham or something like that.
And
they don't
who were the
prefer to
examples of
go
that?
out.
Who were the examples
Gaur
of that?
Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj.
Haridas
And
Thakur.
Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj.
Gaur Kishore Das
Haridas
Babaji.
Thakur. No, Haridas Thakur is not there. Gaur Kishore Das
Jagannath
Babaji
Das
Maharaj,
Babaji
Jagannath Das Babaji
Maharaj,
Maharaj,
Gaur
Vamsi
Kishore
Das
Das
Babaji
Babaji
Maharaj.
Maharaj. These are the Bhajanandis, those who were doing the bhajans, Nirjan bhajan, and were in secluded place, were absorbed in their chanting throughout. And by that, they were preaching. And who were the Goshanandis? What is their activities?
Goshanandis are devotees who are doing their bhajan also, and plus what, as you told in this shloka, that they are doing their sadhana and they're engaging others also in worshipping the Lord. In short, they are preaching to the outside people.
Yeah. So one day, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was the spiritual master of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Path, and Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj was not giving a diksha to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Path. And he pleaded many times, he went and offered the obeisances many times, and then he used to say that, I never asked with the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let me ask my Prabhu. And then if the Prabhu says yes, then I will be giving the diksha. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj were in a deep trance and doing a bhajan. And the next day, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Path came and says that, whether you asked Lord Chaitanya, then he says that he made, I saw him, I heard him, but I forgot to ask. And Nitai was not there with him. So I need to check with Nitai also. So like that, 18 times, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Path bowed before him and says that, please, that is the same case with the Narottam Das Thakur. This is like, that's why there is a like bhajan, Yadi Krupa na hoibe patita dekhiya patita pavan kichu namak kisere lagiya. And then he is talking to his spiritual master also, and he is talking to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. So like that, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Path was really humbled himself and went again. And then Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj says that, okay, but I am not qualified to give an initiation. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur started crying. What now? If you are not initiating and you are saying that you are not qualified because you are talking every day with the Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, still you are saying that you are not qualified, then how will I get delivered? And then finally he gets the initiation. And then Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Path also did some bhajan, Nirjan bhajan. There are the kutirs where in Mayapur, that ashram Chaitanya Math, where he had done 6 to 8 years, 12 years he has done Nirjan bhajan. Then afterwards, he just thought that I should preach now. And he started giving the classes. And in his, like from the Mayapur, he used to go to Kolkata and used to give the classes. And some classes he used to give in the Mayapur. And one day he saw that in the back, in the crowd, the last person who was sitting and leaning to the wall was his spiritual master. And when he saw his spiritual master was hearing his classes, he bent down and said that, I was not knowing that you are hearing my classes like that. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj says that, my Prabhu, like he was addressing his spiritual, he was addressing his disciple as a Prabhu to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Path, and says that, my Prabhu is giving so wonderful classes. And he talks about Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda, he talks about Krishna, my worshipable deities, so wonderfully. I am having the blessings that you can preach. So these are the people, Bhajananandis are more interested and absorbed in the thoughts of the Lord Chaitanya, Nityananda, and Lord Krishna, and they are chanting. They are chanting, but they are not counting that much. Just like 64, 128, how many? They count also, and they don't explain that how many rounds we have chanted. For themselves, they are counting. And the Goshthanandis, those who are doing a bhajan, and they are explaining the glories, expounding the glories to others also, and asking them to chant bhajan. So that is the Goshthanandis are more interested in preaching. So ISKCON is we can say it is more over the Goshthanandis than the Bhajananandis. So it was a mood of our founder Acharya that nobody is having the retirement plan here in ISKCON. One day, one reporter asked in front of the disciples to Srila Prabhupada, what is the retirement plan in ISKCON? And then he says that on my deathbed also I would like to preach. So whenever I'm dying, that time you can have the dictaphone over me, and I will be speaking about the Bhagavatam and the glories of Krishna. So I would like to die on the battlefield of the Maya. So that is the mood of the Goshthanandis. They will not say that I will be retiring. Now one day I will be going to this Vrindavan Dham, will be chanting more and round. So these people, those who are the Prabhupada Nugas, they are still preaching. They are still preaching. His disciples are still active. They are doing the preaching. Why? They can also go to the Vrindavan and have their bhajan kutir and all this. But majority of Prabhupada disciples at the age of 70, 75, 80, they are still active, and they are saying that it is the mood of our spiritual master to preach. So these Goshthanandis are preachers. They will not retire. So it is a founder Acharya's mood. One has to carry the same mood. One should not have that, oh, when I will grow old, 60, 55, 60, I will be having my home, second home in Vrindavan, and we'll be having some home, and we'll be having some retreat, we'll be enjoying. No, with the last drop of the blood, we should preach. That is the moment. That is the zeal of the preacher to preach. There is no such retirement plans in ISKCON. ISKCON is full of preaching engagements. Whatever you can do. It's like in our temple, there are some old people are there, and they are the parents of the brahmacharis. I see that many parents of the brahmacharis, they are also preaching. They are not knowing more philosophy like us, but they are preaching what? To some newly brahmachari parents. They are preaching that, oh, my son is there from last 15 years. Your son just joined it. Don't worry, everything will be all right here. And these people are really taking care. So the ISKCON is a good organization. You don't. So whenever such cases are happening, our ISKCON NVCC parents are there. There are something 20, 25 parents union is there. And whenever such things are happening, they are talking with the newly joined brahmacharis parents. So it is, they are also doing a preaching. They are also not saying that no, we will be retiring like that. Our son is doing a preaching. I will also contribute. So these are the this is the zeal of the preacher, that he will not having the retirement plan for himself. So somebody can read this verse 14.
Krishna Prabhuji, can I read it?
Yes.
Verse 14 describes the activities of such Mahatmas, always chanting Krishna's glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before him, These great souls perpetually worship him with devotion. Those who are attached to the impersonal feature of the absolute truth are not among the Mahatmas described here. They are described in a different way in the next verse.
Yeah.
Right.
Text 15. Jnana yajnena chapi anye yajanto mamupasate ekatvena pathatvena bahudha vishwato mukham. Translation and purport, somebody can read.
Can I continue for this one?
Yes, please.
Okay. Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. There are here three terms designated. The three types. There are here three terms designating the three types of worship done by these jnanis without knowing what they are worshipping, that they are worshipping the Supreme Person, Krishna. Ekatvena in oneness, Prithaktvena in duality, and Bahudha Vishwato Mukha in the universal form in diversity. Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, this verse is a summary of the previous verses. The Lord tells Arjuna that those who are purely in Krishna consciousness and do not know anything other than Krishna are called Mahatma. Yet there are others who are not exactly in the position of Mahatma, but who worship Krishna also in different ways. Some of them have already been described as the distressed, the financially destitute, the inquisitive, and those who are engaged in the cultivation of knowledge. But there are others who are still lower, and these are divided into three. He who worships himself as one with Supreme Lord, he who concocts some form of the Supreme Lord and worships that, and he who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarupa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worship that. Out of the above three, the lowest, those who worship themselves as the Supreme Lord, thinking themselves to be monas, are most predominant. Such people think themselves to be the Supreme Lord, and in the mentality they worship themselves. This is also a type of God worship, for they can understand that they are not the material body but are actually spiritual soul. At least such a sense is prominent. Generally, the impersonalists worship the Supreme Lord in this way. The second class includes the worshippers of the demigods, those who by imagination consider any form to be the form of Supreme Lord. And the third class includes those who cannot conceive of anything beyond the manifestation of this material universe. They consider the universe to be the supreme organism or entity and worship that. The universe is also a form of the Lord. Ekatvena, worshipping oneself as one with the Supreme. This is the lowest of the three. Prithaktvena, worshippers of the demigods, concocting that they are the Supreme. Bahudha Vishwato Mukham, he who accepts the universal form of the Lord and worships that. We heard in the end of chapter 7 and in the beginning of chapter 8 that Krishna is Adi Devata. He is also the material manifestation, Adi Bhuta, and he is the source of Brahman. Brahmano hi Pratishtaham. Those who are Ekatvena, their results have already been explained in text 11 and 12. They are Avajananti Mam Mudha. In verse 15, the Lord lists three types of persons who worship him indirectly, not knowing that he is the ultimate goal of their worship. Some worship him as one without a second, as diverse in many ways, or as in the universal form.
So here in India or in whole creation, these three types of personalities are there. These are called worshippers. So the first one is demons, Moghasham, Mogha Karmano. And then these are the worshippers, those who are having some impersonal understanding, Ekatvena, Prithatvena, those who are the worshippers of the demigods, and they are saying that the demigod is supreme. And Bahudha Vishwato Mukham. Bahudha Vishwato Mukham means they are saying that this whole universal form we can see and imagine, and then we can worship them. There is one recently one person I met who is a big astrologer, Mr. Karve Guruji. He's a 92 years old, very gentleman, and he was started speaking about my bhavishya, the future. And then he asked me that you are suffering from some disease, diabetes and all this. And then he just said that there is one solution, is that Om Shri Vishwa Devata Yai Namaha. This you can chant for 108 times. So we are, then he said that you people are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. That's all right. That also you can continue. But 108 times you can chant Om Shri Vishwa Devata Yai Namaha. Because Vishwa Devata is like the same Virat Rupa of Krishna only. But we can easily see that Virat Rupa here and there, because we can see the stones, we can see the matter more than the spirit. So he asked me to chant that. So there are the worshippers like that also. Those who are Bahuda Vishwato Mukham, they are doing this sort of worship. So I just, when I met him, that time only I started quoting this shloka, Ekatvena Prathakvena Bahuda Vishwato Mukham. I was not knowing that Ekatvena, the worshippers are there. I always meet them, like the impersonalist. I always meet the people, those who are worshipping the demigods and as the Supreme Personality of God. In my home, in my family, there is always a people like my mother's, like my brother says that I feel Krishna is not a supreme, Lord Shiva is a supreme, and I am worshipping Lord Shiva. So these people are there. Every now and then we can see that Bahuda Vishwata Mukham, these species are somewhat rare species. But I found one in my recent campaign with that. Please go on reading.
In his purport, Srila Prabhupada summarizes 3 different levels of Krishna worshippers. The Mahatmas, described in verses 13-14, the 4 types of pious persons, mentioned in 7.16, the 3 types of Gyanis who worship the absolute truth indirectly, verse 15. Srila Prabhupada describes...
Actually, somebody can remember this 7.16 shloka? It will be a small taste of the shloka remembrance. Which are the 4 pious people?
Artho Artharthi Jigyasu.
Artho Jigyasu Artharthi Jnani cha Bharatarshava Tesham Jnani Nitya Yuktaha.
Eka Bhakti Vishishyate. You are speaking the next shloka, but 7.16, how it starts?
Chaturvidha bhajante mam.
One devotee at a time. One devotee at a time. Yeah. Please.
Chaturvidha bhajante mam janasya kritirarjuna artho jignasu artharthi jnani cha bharatarshava.
Wow, perfect. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Please go on reading now.
Srila Prabhupada describes the last category worshippers as follows. He who worships himself as one with the Supreme Lord, he who concocts some form of the Supreme Lord and worships that, and he who accepts the universal form, the Vishwarupa of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and worships that. Out of the above 3, the lowest, those who worship themselves as the Supreme Lord, thinking themselves to be monists, are most predominant. Such people think themselves...
We already read that,
yeah,
so it is repetition. Yes. 16 to 25. Krishna is a supreme object of worship. In verse 15, the Lord... Yeah, please go on reading.
Okay. Verses 16 to 25, Krishna is the supreme object of worship. In verse 15, the Lord mentioned those who worship the universal form as supreme. In verses 16 to 19, he explains how they can advance by recognizing him, the Supreme, in the universal form. Worshippers of the universal form, Krishna, who is the sacrifice, the ritual, the syllable Om, the Vedas, the universal father, the most dear friend, the sustainer, the goal, death, drought, heat, and the rain. 16 to 19.
Yeah. This is very special shlokas where how one can see Krishna in a universal form. So I forgot to mention these shlokas in front of Karve Guruji, but after that I just recollected it. I could have spoke this shloka in front of him. But anyhow, like whenever you will meet such sort of people, you can quote these shlokas. How we can see Krishna in a universal form also. Aham kratur aham yajna.
Aham
Kratur aham
yajna.
Swadhamam aham aushadham.
Swadhamam aushadam.
Mantroham aham evajñam.
Mantroham
Aham agnir aham hutam.
Agnimrir aham bhutam.
Translation purport, somebody can read.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. Krishna is the ultimate goal and shelter. Krishna is the ritual, the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, the butter, the fire, and the offering. He is the father, mother, the support, and the grandsire of the universe. Krishna is the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. He is the three Vedas. Krishna is the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refugee, the dearest friend. He is the creation, the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal seed. He gives heat and he withholds and sends forth rain. He is immortality and death personified. Both spirit and matter are in Krishna.
Yes. So Krishna is what here in this shloka it is mentioned, what all the atoms. He is a ritual, the sacrifice is offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, and the butter and the fire and the offering. So the Krishna is a Aushadhi also. Whenever we are taking the Aushadhi, it is a Krishna. It is a potency, the Krishna. The offering of the ancestors. He is that. So he is the sacrifice. Yajnehi Vishnuhu. Then he is offering to the ancestors. This the healing herb, the Aushadhi, this particular term, I liked it. Whenever I am taking the Aushadhi, I always say that it is Krishna, you are there. So what is that? You are always there with me. You are always there. You are the healing herb. So whenever somebody is giving me some kadha or something, it is like the Krishna has been given to me, and I am just taking that, the Aushadhi. The transcendental chant that we always agree that Krishna and Krishna's name is not different. I am the butter and the fire and the offering. So everything is Krishna. Pitahamasya jagato.
Pitahamasya jagato.
Mata dhata pitamaha.
Mata pitamaha.
Vedyam pavitram omkara.
Vedyam pavitram omkara.
Riksamaya jurevacha.
Can
Can I read, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
Nanapram.
please, please.
I am the father of this universe, the mother and the grandchild. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable home. I am also the Rig, the Sama, and the Yajurvedas.
Yeah, so the Krishna is saying that whatever you are seeing now, he is taking one theme, the object of knowledge. Means what? Knowledge means Vedas, and then by that one is getting purified, and how one can get purified by the chanting of the Om. And I am also the Vedas, the books, the Vedas, the whole what we can say, the warehouse of the knowledge. That is the 4 Vedas. That also I am. So the warehouse of the knowledge, the Vedas, the object of knowledge, that also I am. Object of knowledge and the knowledge. The object of knowledge is Krishna. The knowledge himself is Krishna, like the Vedas himself is Krishna. And from the knowledge to the object of knowledge, the process, which is syllable Om, the Omkar, that is also Krishna. And the purifier, the method which purifies one Jivatma, that is also Krishna. And I am the father of this universe, the mother also, the supported, and the grandson. So that's why in Maharashtra, Lord Vithala is called as Mauli. Mauli means mother. Mother means Krishna. So here Krishna is mother, Krishna is father. Tameva mata, pitasha tameva. Tameva bandhu sakha tameva. Tameva vidya. This is like the vidya. This shloka is, this whole shloka we can, what we always chant while some puja is there. Tameva mata pita tameva. This whole thing is in this one particular shloka. Gatir bharata prabhur sakai.
Gatir bharata prabhu sakai.
Nivasa sharanam surut. Prabhava pralaya stanam. Nidhanam bijam avyayam. Translation, somebody can read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place, and the eternal sea. When Krishna is explaining that he is the basis of everything, the resting place, the eternal sea, he is avyayam. He is imperishable. When the universe is destroyed, it is Krishna that remains.
Yes. So these shlokas, it is not having long purports or the commentaries. We will be going fast. Text 19. Tapamyaham aham vasram. Nirghanami utsujami cha. Amrutam chaiva mrityuscha. Sadasat chaham arjuna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Can I read the
Yes.
translation?
Yes, yes.
Translation. O Arjuna, I gave heat and withhold and send forth the rain. I am immortality and I am also death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Hare Krishna.
So here also the heat is there. I withhold and send forth the rain. Rain, it is there. immortality, and also the death personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. The Krishna is not trying to, but he is covering everything. Whatever it is there in this universal form, he is saying that these are me only. Yeah, please go on reading this.
Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the Jinjatic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna, and his pastimes in Vrindavana as two-handed Shyam Sundara playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now Krishna is going to explain the result of worshipping Krishna, but indirectly through the demigods. Second, worshippers of demigods. Worshippers of demigods indirectly worship Krishna through following the Vedas, but not only is directly worship of Krishna superior, but demigods worshippers are worshipping improperly. 20 to 22.
So why now this section is going on, which will be Ekatvena Prathakvena. Now he has explained about 16 to 19 who are this Bahuda Vishwato Mukham, where I can see, where you can see me. Even whenever you are meeting such people, we can tell them in a Bahuda, mention that in a Gita. Now he is refuting, and what will happen to the demigod worshippers. So how we can see that demigod worshippers, he is not mentioning that I am there in them also. He has mentioned that in a Bahuda Vishwatamukham, you can see me, but not in demigod worshippers. He is indirectly, or worshippers of demigods, they are worshipping him indirectly. It is not directly. He could have said that, that in a demigod also you can see me. But he is not saying that. They are worshipping indirectly. So Krishna is not making us backward in a knowledge. Oh, demigod worshippers, there we are offering to the like the Krishna only. Yeah, but he is not like inside the demigods and you are offering to me, but they are offering that ultimately to me. Like that he will be mentioning. But here in Bahuda Vishwatamukham, this heat I am, this fire I am, the spirit and matter I am, he is mentioning that directly. Please go on reading. Srila Prabhupada summarizes.
Srila Prabhupada summarizes this section of verses in his purport to verse 19. By analyzing all these different energies of Krishna, one can ascertain that for Krishna there is no distinction between matter and spirit, or in other words, he is both matter and spirit. In the advanced stage of Krishna consciousness, one therefore makes no such distinctions. He sees only Krishna in everything. Since Krishna is both matter and spirit, the Jinjatic universal form comprising all material manifestations is also Krishna, and his pastimes in Vrindavana as 200 Shyamasundara playing on a flute are those of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So,
verse 20 to 25.
Please go on, ready. Please go.
Verse 20 to 25 describe the demigod worshippers and compare them with the devotees.
So here in this section, we are seeing that first we saw that Asuram, then we saw about the Mahatmas, then we saw about the worshippers. It was the title, the worshippers, demons, and the Mahatmas. So the demons has been covered by 11 and 12. Then the 13 and 14 was talking about the Mahatmas. 15th shloka was talking about the worshippers, and from them, Bahuda Vishwatu Mukham, the 16 to 19 it was, and now from 20 to 25 it is a demigod worshippers. And then what it remains? The Ekatvena. Traividyamam Somapa Putapapa
Trividramam Soma Papa
Yadne Ishtva Swagatim Prathag Yadne Ishtva Swagatim Prarthayante Te Punyam Asatya Surendra Lokam
Te
Punyam Asadya Surendra Lokam
Ashnanti Divyan Divideva Bhogan. Translation.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Those who study the Veda and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planet, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
Yes. So the demigod worshippers, where we saw that the demigod worshippers previously, where we came across them, somebody remember the section where the demigod worshippers were condemned by the Krishna? Kamasya sirta jnana prapadyante anya devata. Do you remember that? Whether we covered this in a 7th chapter, I feel. So this is where Krishna were condemning also. Now he is saying that okay, these people, those who are studying the Vedas and drinking the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. They are going to the Indra Loka and they are worshipping me indirectly. So that's why they can go to the Indra Loka. Yes. Tetam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam. Kshine punya murti loke vishanti. Evam tridharmam anuprapapanna.
Evam dharmam anuprapapanna.
Gata gatam kama kama labhante. Yes, please go.
Translation. When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to the mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death.
Yeah. So here this one word means like one line where Srila Prabhupada quoted near about 200 times in his lectures, in his commentaries and all other places. This is very important line. Kshane punya martiloke vishanti. They will, once their punya is kshina, punya has exhausted, then they will come back into this martiloke vishanti. They will be coming back. The demigod worshippers, once their pious activities quota is exhausted, they will be coming back again into this material world, which is martiloka vishanti. What is the use of that? Is it that they are going again up, coming down, going up and down? what will be the use of that? Please go on reading.
Those who study the Vedas with the purpose of attaining the heavenly planets are indirect worshippers of Krishna. Purified of sins, they attain Indra's abode to enjoy.
Indra's abode to enjoy.
Indra's abode to enjoy godly delights. After their pious activities are exhausted, they again fall down to this mortal planet. Thus, sense enjoyment through the Vedas results in repeated birth and death. Verse 20 to 21. Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan writes in his commentary, verse 20. Though they do not know what the form of Indra and other devatas are my forms alone, they are actually worshipping me, who am situated in those respective forms by Jyotishama, Jyotistoma, and other sacrifices prescribed in the three Vedas. Drinking the remnants of sacrifice, soma, and being purified of sins which obstruct their attainment of savage. They pray for savage. It should be understood that the enjoyment they obtain is actually given only by me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So now initially I spoke something. Now the Baldev Vidyabhushan is speaking something else. You might be getting some question that, oh, the original, this is though they do not know that the forms of Indra and other devatas are my forms alone. They are actually worshipping me only. And before starting of this section, I spoke that no, Krishna is not speaking like that. What exactly Baldev Vidyabhushan is speaking here? That original forms of the devatas, like these are the devatas in this material world, and their original, what we can say, prototypes are there in the spiritual world, and these original prototypes are there when this creation is happening. That time the devatas also comes inside this prakriti formation, and their prototypes, original prototypes, are there in the spiritual world. That is because of the Krishna. This is like the original prototypes. So original thing is a Krishna only. And then when they are coming here in this material world, the devatas, so that's why those who are worshipping them, Krishna says that they are actually worshipping me only. One connection is that you are worshipping a particular devata. You are looking for what? You are looking for some peace and happiness. So the original peace and happiness the devata cannot give, but the temporary peace and happiness he will be giving it to you. So the original thing which you are looking for, it has been satisfied by the temporary thing. So that's why the Baldev Vidyabhushan says that what you are looking, original form, that the devatas are not, but original I am there, and I am accepting that whenever you are going to the devata, I am accepting that you are trying to come to me, because you accepted somebody as a superior, but you have not accepted a particular, like you have not achieved the ultimate superior. That story goes na, that one farmer who was searching for the rich person, or who is having more power and prestige. So he saw that Mukhiya of the that particular village, and everybody was coming to the Mukhiya and offering their respects to the Mukhiya or the Sarpanch. So he thought that the Sarpanch is the biggest person. And then after that, after serving the Sarpancha, after serving the Mukhya, he saw that there is one personality comes to the Sarpanch's home, and the Sarpancha is offering the respect to that person. That was a Tehsildar, who was the head of the one Tehsil. And then this farmer started serving the Tehsildar and says that you please take me at your service. I would like to serve the biggest personalities. And then the Tehsildar is been he was offering the respects to the Jilladhikari. Then that person he was worshipping like that. He worshipped the MLA, he worshipped the MP, then he worshipped the PM, and he worshipped the like the supreme most personality, like as per his understanding. And then when he was serving the PM, that time he saw that the PM is offering the worship to the Lord. Then he saw that I was also doing the same. I was already worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but I just tried to see different people and was thinking that these are the Supreme, these are the Supreme, these are. But I came to the final conclusion, and that PM explains to him that more than that, more than the Krishna, the devotees of Krishna, if you can worship, because Krishna says that I become the servant of my devotees. So then he started looking for the devotees of Krishna, and one day he became the devotee of Krishna by serving the devotees. So this is the way the people are going like that. They are trying to serve the devatas because they are giving some immediate benefits. But actually, they are not looking for the temporary benefits. They are looking for the final ultimate benefit, but they are not knowing. So that's why George Harrison says in a foreword of the Krishna book that everyone is looking for Krishna. Some of them are knowing, some of them are not knowing. Everybody is looking for Krishna only.
Prabhuji?
Yes.
Prabhuji, here Jyotish, what is they mentioned that the form Jyotish Toma?
Jyotish Stoma is one of the sacrifice. Is one of the sacrifice. Like the Agnihotras are there, then the Rajasuya Yajna, then Ashwamedha Yajna. Like that, one of the sacrifices Jyotish Stoma, which is called as.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Text 22. Ananyaschintayanto ma ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Very famous shloka. And Yogakshemam Vahamyam is the logo or motto of LIC. Yogakshemam Vahamyam, where we can see that this has been stolen by LIC from the Gita. Yeah, please read the translation and purport.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I will read. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Srila Prabhupada says in his purport, one who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day, being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, of prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the rendering other services, cultivating friendship, surrendering fully to the Lord. Although pure devotees, they don't want anything from Krishna, the Lord supplies them anyhow. He carries what they lack. He preserves what they have. Krishna is personally interested in his devotees, although his pure devotees don't want anything from him. It could be asked, you carry upon your head the needs of your devotees. But what kind of devotee is that makes you carry his needs like that?
Yeah, very important shloka. Please go on reading.
Krishna answers, they have not given me this burden. I do it by my own sheer will. It is not a burden for me. I can create universes. This is not a burden for me. Because I have a feeling of personal desire to serve them, there is no burden. But one could argue the worshippers of demigods are worshipping Krishna indirectly. So they should have the same kind of results. Krishna answers to this. Verse 22 contrasts the demigod worshippers with the devotees. Devotees who worship.
Sorry, this Krishna answer to this is there in the next shloka. What the results I give it to the demigod worshippers. It is in next shloka. Yeah.
Okay. Devotees who worship Krishna in exclusive devotion are awarded perfect Krishna consciousness. Once they are situated in Krishna consciousness, the Lord protects them from falling to the conditioned life. In his purport, Srila Prabhupada defines exclusive devotion as follows. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day, being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship, and surrendering fully to the Lord. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty.
So there is one story goes in my mind whenever this shloka comes. Our Sarvabhaum Prabhu, you must be knowing him, the famous personality who preached in Pakistan also. When he came first time to Pune, this was a shloka was given to him. It was long back in 2002. When he came first time in the evening, and it was our culture that time that evening, whenever some guests are coming, so that time we used to give him some shlokas, and on that shloka half an hour he will be addressing. So that shloka, this shloka was given to Sarvabhaum Prabhu, and he narrated one story of Ananta Acharya, and that was really touching. That Ananta Acharya, not that the Ananta Acharya who was the making the garden for Tirupati, the another personality. So Ananta Acharya was writing the commentary over this shloka, and he came across this shloka and he said that Vahami aham. Vahami means to carry. Whatever a devotee lacks, that Krishna will be carrying that and offering him. I feel Vahamiyam is not a proper word. Dadhamiyam or something like that. He just spoke it. And he make a correction in the Gita. Vahami, he rubbed it, or he just made this sign it over. It is not right. And Dadhamiyam. And after some time, his wife says that it is enough. You are writing some commentary over the Gita, but we need something to eat also. And you please go out and take some vegetables as well as the groceries. Grocery is finished. Why you are not looking into the household matters? And Anantacharya was somewhat disturbed. Now I don't have money. I don't have anything. But see, I will go. And then he was in a mind that I will ask and like the begging alms in the evening. And in that evening, every day he used to get something. But in that evening, in that particular evening, he was frustrated. He was not getting anything. So now it was a turn of Anandacharya to say sorry to his wife. And he was still trying, in a marketplace, something he can get it, some job, temporary job for half an hour, 1 hour, something like that, or begging the alms like that. So he can get something for that day. So, but still it was like whole endeavor where baffled. So Moghasha, Mugha Karma, the devotees' endeavors for their own maintenance. Sometimes Krishna says that I will be taking everything back. Like, and then 2 boys were carrying some load of the groceries and the vegetables on their shoulder, and they came to the Anantacharya's home. Anantacharya was not there, his wife was there, and these 2 beautiful boys were there holding the whole 2 months grocery and vegetables for at least for a week. So they were having that. And Anantacharya has sent us, so please accept it. And the boy, like the boy's beauty, and she says that, how beautiful you are. You please come and have some water in home. And they were, chest was open. They were, one were wearing the Pitambar and one were wearing a Nilambar. Pitambar and Nilambar. Nila Vastra and yellow Vastra. They were. And when they sat, they drank water, and this Anantacharya's wife were treating them as her sons. And she was saying that, what else I can cook something for you right now. I felt that this is like you are my kids only. So they were saying that we are there in hurry. Better you can cook something, and we will just go and fresh up ourselves, and we'll honor some prasad. And while she was cooking, these boys went where Anantacharya was writing a commentary. And then they got fresh and ate the prasadam and went back. And while going, Anantacharya's wife asked to them, you are so innocent, you are so soft. I saw some mark on your back. So, and it was like a red mark, this scratch over your back. What was that? What is that? So one boy replied that you better ask to your husband only. So the wife was asking whether he beaten you. No, you please ask him only. He is having the answer. So, okay. So these 2 boys went, and then after some time, Anantacharya came in and was really frustrated. He was not having any grocery, and he was saying that he was about to say that better we can drink some hot water and sleep. And the wife came in front of him and says that it is hot prasadam is there in front of you. You only sent some 2 young boys, very cute boys. I like them. Better you always send them here. So Anantacharya said that, who? I never sent anyone here in this home. I was frustrated. And then he says that, what is this? How this prasadam was made? From where you bake the grocery? And she said, no, you only send the grocery man here. These 2 young boys were carrying on their shoulder the grocery and the vegetables. And why you became so rude with them? You beaten them or what? Don't you have the soft heart with the boys? Then Anantacharya sat for some time and says that how they were looking. One was fair color, white. He was having the Nilambar. He was having the blue clothes. And the another was very charming, Shama Sundar. He was wearing the yellow garments. Then Anantacharya thought that must be Krishna came here. And what was a mark on his back? Oh, the red mark was there on their back, as if you did something on their back. Then the Krishna, like Anantacharya went into the inside the room and he saw that there Krishna marked it. Again, he just marked again and says that it is not Dadhami, it is Vahami. I am carrying the burden for my special devotees, pure devotees. So don't have the scratches over my speaking. Don't doubt on my speaking. And Anantacharya started crying and asked her wife to come and says that, you know to whom you served, you know to whom with you talked. You are more fortunate than me because you saw Krishna and Balram directly. You are so fortunate. And he started crying and the wife also started crying. My God, because of you, I got the darshan of the Krishna and Balram. Because you wrote down something and Krishna came himself to correct that wording. What a story it is, like that Anantacharya. What a family it is. What a devotion it must be. Ananya Chintayanto Mam. So that is the Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Krishna was always been remembered by Anantacharya, and he himself is the example for that. Ananya Chintayanto Mam. Ye Jana Paripasate. Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yogakshema Vahamyam. Are we then interested to take a service from Krishna? Are we interested that by this shloka, then we can say that, oh, we can also get some service from Krishna. We should also get some service from Krishna. Then we are the greatest. But there is always a transcendental competition between devotees and Krishna, that devotees would like to serve Krishna and Krishna is more eager to serve the devotees. But we are not at all interested to take service from Radharani or Krishna. That should not be our mood. We should feel guilty that, oh Krishna, how can I engage my supreme personality or my master for my own services? That's why we deny to pray like that. Oh Krishna, it's like, please, mera ye kaam kar do. That's why we always say that Krishna is not a waiter to take your order. Kya kya karna hai bata? No. We should not engage Krishna for our own task. We should always go in front of Krishna and say that, oh Krishna, how can I serve you? Okay, we can go on reading. Verse 22, contrast.
Devotees who worship Krishna in exclusive devotion are awarded perfect consciousness. Once they are situated in Krishna consciousness, the Lord protects them from falling to conditioned life. In his purport, Srila Prabhupada defines exclusive devotion as follows. One who is unable to live for a moment without Krishna consciousness cannot but think of Krishna 24 hours a day, being engaged in devotional service by hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worshipping, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, rendering other services, cultivating friendship, and surrendering fully to the Lord. Such a devotee undoubtedly approaches the Lord without difficulty.
He has a network issue, Prabhuji.
We lost
Yeah.
Prabhuji because connection, I
Yeah.
think he's going to
Connection
join
problem.
again.